Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I'm your host, Fozzie, or Cam, and I'm here with my co host, Will. How are you today, Will?
I'm doing great, Cam. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. So today we're going to do most of the same things as we usually do, but again, we're going to be adding a new segment and sadly taking one away. That is the gaming segment. I just felt it got kind of boring and there wasn't much to talk about after we downsized on our news because no one really wants to hear about news. So it got kind of boring after a while. So we're gonna be taking that out and replacing it with a movie review, and that is kind of similar to our movie of the week. But the movie review can be it could be a bad movie that we're reviewing, or
Absolutely.
but uh, as in for the movie of the week, that's more of a recommendation. You know it's gonna be a good movie when we recommend it. So after that, we're getting that out of the way. Yeah, that's all we have changing. But yeah. So we're gonna start off with our music segment. So Will, I told you to listen to a few songs. One was actually we had a commenter, and he commented that he recommended Led Zeppelin. So
Yeah.
we took a listen to a Led Zeppelin song. It's called the Immigrant Song, and I really like that song. How did you feel about it, Will?
It was a good song, yeah. In terms of, all four songs that you recommended me to listen to for this music segment today, I mean, that one probably wouldn't come in at number one. It would probably boil down to Holiday and Counting Stars, but like you, I did think it was a good song, and thank you so much uh to that person for recommending him for sure.
Yeah. And the other songs I recommended to you were "Sun Goes Down" by Lil Nas X, and Lil Nas X is obviously popular. I don't really love most of his music. Some of it's catchy. I mean, his hooks are always outstanding. They really get you to keep listening.
I agree,
But this song,
especially for that song.
"Sun Goes Down," yes. It's not like his usual stuff. It wasn't his most popular song, which I kind of like because everything that he does just is popular. So this was one of his more not well received songs, but I think it might be his best song. The writing is outstanding, and it's just a mellow song to just chill to, you know?
Great. Yeah, I would say the part that stood out to me, Cam, was what you were just saying, and that is the writing. I just thought the writing was really, really good, and I was engaged and looking closely at the lyrics the whole time. So I think you hit the nail on the head, because the thing that stuck out to me as well was that the writing was outstanding.
Yeah, it was. I really like it, and Lil Nas X is very talented in the way he can just draw people in to keep listening to his music. And our next song that I asked you to listen to for the podcast was "Holiday" by KSI.
I love that song personally, Cam, and I loved listening to it. I guess I kind of, told our fans about this, last week. But like I love it. A song with a good catchy chorus, and I feel like that was a song that had one. So I loved that song personally, Cam.
I totally agree. It's just it's a chill.
Yeah.
It's definitely a summer song. It's just like a chill, mellow song, and I think KSI really did a great job on this song. I believe he actually just came out with a new album too, so that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool.
I'll have to give that album a listen. And the next song I asked you to listen to was "Counting Stars," I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
by
Counting Stars,
by
One
One
Republic.
Republic.
Yeah, no, just another, I mean, great pop song. I know we're kind of, talking about before the show that this is obviously one of those songs played on the radio a pretty solid amount of time, and yeah, no, that's obviously one of their all-time hits. I mean, I know I was telling you before the show how I'm really considering listening to more of them because they have some great music. So that's obviously probably arguably their best song ever. So what's not to like about it?
Yeah, I really liked it a lot. It's definitely one of their most popular songs, and they also came out with a new album, which is also pretty cool. Their newer stuff, though, I just can't get into their newer stuff. The,
They've been putting out more singles, right, than actual albums.
yes, I feel like that song, "Counting Stars." It's just such a classic,
I agree.
fun song to listen to. But the newer songs are much more like poppy and definitely songs you'd hear on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. I gotcha.
yeah, and also I'd like to say that to our watchers or viewers or listeners, whatever you guys are doing, I apologize, and I just realized that for most of the segment, the visuals were not great. They were kind of messed up, and I just tried to fix that. So sorry about that, guys. And
All good.
uh, now we're gonna be moving on to our next segment, which is sports segment. Take it away, Will.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cam. And yeah, let's get right into this. And I mean, this is a pretty big topic, so let's get right into it. The USA men's Olympic basketball team.
That's a
Their
mess.
first, yeah. Well, I mean, Cam, I have a feeling that or that you're gonna have some pretty strong takes when it comes to this. But anyway, Team USA, their first game of pool play on Sunday. They have another one tomorrow against Iran, and then a final one sometime soon as well against the Czech Republic. But putting that aside, Sunday they fall to France. It wasn't a blowout loss, but Durant was bad and fouled out. Lillard was taken out of the game because he was so out of sorts. And I believe their leading scorer was Drew Holiday, who had just arrived there like 24 hours ago after playing in the NBA Finals. So look, it's all going to come down to how they're going to respond, tomorrow against Iran, Cam. But just a tough loss for the USA men's basketball team.
I'm gonna have to agree. And this is, I think I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. This is a team with Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and they're 1-3, correct?
I believe they're actually 2-3 overall because they won two of their exhibition games.
Oh, okay.
That they won a second one against Spain, I believe.
All right, but like, this is a good team.
Oh yeah.
But I just feel like the players on it, I feel like they just don't want to put in the work. I feel like they just want to win a medal, and if you don't put in work, you're not going to win a medal. Also, from what I've heard, France was actually a favored team to at least get a medal. So I've heard France is good, but that's no excuse. You still gotta. You're a good team. I mean, you guys gotta step it up.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're obviously coming off of the grind of an NBA season, and I completely understand that. But also, I feel like if you commit to Team USA and you commit to the Olympics, you have to be committed to putting that work in and doing everything you can for your country to try and win a gold medal. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, from everything that I read and I watched the highlights too. Just one of the things, that was just so surprising about the game against France, they were just missing so many wide open shots. There was this one sequence where they literally missed, like all in one play, 5 straight shots, and they're pretty much all wide open, like practice shots. So that was really surprising to see.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with this team. And I still am disappointed with this team, actually.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's obviously time to bounce back, but it's obviously clear that the world's caught up. They have work to do,
Yep.
and their coach Greg Popovich has work to do. I'm curious what you think about his
Oh my
job,
god.
which some people have put into question.
So, from like the interviews with Popovich, uh, like the people asking him like questions about this team, like why under his coaching and having some of the best all stars in the NBA should be favored to win, right? But when like reporters ask Popovich like why they're not winning, he just like simply just acts like the reporter has no right to ask that question, which isn't fair because Pops is struggling. I mean, their whole team is struggling, and I feel like the reporters deserve an honest answer from him.
No, sure, yeah, no, I think I would agree with that personally, Cam. I think I would agree with what you were saying there. So, yeah, no, again, a tough loss for Team USA. They've got to bounce back and win both of these next games against Iran and the Czech Republic to advance to the next round. It's amazing that we're even having conversations like that in while they're in pool play. Pretty amazing. So yeah, that is what's going on there. Also, we are now officially a week removed from this, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, Fozzie. So I want to do it with you here. The Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA Finals a week ago
Yep.
today. Giannis Antetokounmpo with one of the greatest finals games in the history of the NBA. It was just absolute greatness. A 50 burger, only the seventh player ever to have 50 points in an NBA Finals game. And oh, by the way, he shoots 17 of 19 from the free throw line.
Jeez.
I think, not to be a homer, but I think that my guy Steph Curry put it best in a tweet that he sent out to Giannis. He said, "Enjoyed watching greatness out there tonight. Greatness, Giannis. Congrats, bro." Because it was greatness, Cam.
I
Greatness.
totally agree. It was outstanding, immaculate. Like Giannis is just he's a beast, and I don't know why he's not on Team USA right now, but I'm sure
I
that.
think it's a good decision because you went to the NBA Finals. I mean, I'm questioning Booker, Holiday, and Middleton right now. I think
Yeah,
it's a good decision.
like yeah, but yeah. Do you have any NFL thoughts? Because there's not really much. I mean,
Yeah, nothing much. I mean, I guess on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers front, this is kind of some, big news. They had their visit to the White House last week with
yes.
President Biden. They also had their ring ceremony last week as well. I watched Tom Brady's speech at that. It was absolutely fantastic. And he ended it by sharing one of his favorite quotes, which was, "My favorite ring is the next one." So I think he was also trying to send a message to his team there as well. But obviously, training camp is getting underway now, Cam, and for I mean, we'll see what goes on the Aaron Rodgers front with the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be pretty insane. But with our New England Patriots, obviously, it'll be interesting to hear what goes on there with Cam Newton
Yep.
and Mac Jones. I think it's pretty clear, even though there's going to be competition. Cam Newton's probably going to be the starter, but it'll be interesting to hear, how many reps Newton and Jones get during practice. So,
Yes.
training camp, obviously, starting Cam, and then the news will really start to percolate as we continue to move forward and do future shows.
Yes. I agree. And also, have you seen the Tampa Bay ring this year? I mean, it's insane. It's
I
just
didn't look in too much detail, but they looked very good to me.
like yeah, it is really cool. Like you can open the ring up, and there's like a mini replica of the Tampa Bay field inside of the ring.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a kind of a way for owners of teams to kind of show off how much money they have, and I can totally
Yeah,
respect that actually.
yeah. And by the way, like speaking of Fields, this is a little bit off topic, but speaking of Fields, obviously the Buccaneers. It's crazy to like say this, but like they had home field advantage in the Super Bowl They were playing in front of their home fans at Raymond James Stadium. Some people could say that that's unfair, but folks listening to this, let me put it to you this way. The Buccaneers had to win 3 straight road games.
That's true.
3 straight road games to get to the Super Bowl. So personally, I think they earned and deserved to play the Super Bowl on their home field.
That is a good point, and that is also a point that I don't think much people would take into consideration because people sometimes aren't smart and just, make assumptions that aren't true.
Yeah, and personally, when it comes to the Buccaneers this season, Cam, I mean, look, every team is going to be gunning for them, but in this new, obviously 17-game season, so it's still tough to say the to predict new records in a 17-game season. But I think Tampa Bay is going to have a fantastic season. I've got them going, get ready for it. 13-4 this year. I think they're going to have a great season. Brady's connection with his receivers is going to be even better than it was last season. And I just don't see, anybody, really stopping this team from making a legitimate run back to the Super Bowl. Because, I mean, their defense was just phenomenal during last year's playoffs and in the Super Bowl. And then he's got 2 of the best receivers in the league, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and his connection with them will be even better this season. So I think Tampa Bay is going to have an outstanding year, personally, Cam.
Yep, I totally agree, actually. And, I mean, they have a great team. I mean, I don't see Tom Brady just completely falling off a cliff and being horrible next season. That's not going to happen, so...
Yeah, speaking...
Tom's going to be good.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of the cliff, First Take is going to be live in Foxborough the Friday before the game where Tom Brady comes back to the Patriots. And I was watching a bit of First Take while I was in Mendocino last week, Cam, and Max Kellerman said that he has not been able to go to Cape Cod since he made the cliff prediction. And my response to that, Mr. Kellerman, is that you obviously, said you were wrong last October, but my response to that, Mr. Kellerman, is why should you have been able to go to Cape Cod after making that just ridiculous statement?
Yeah. Mr. Max Kellerman seems to have a lot of controversial takes.
Now look, I'll put it to you this way. Steph Curry does not have the most outstanding stats under pressure. I'll give you that. But Max Kellerman said Trae Young is fearless under pressure. Steph Curry is careless under pressure.
That's ridiculous.
Steph Curry shimmies in the regular season. Trae Young shimmies in the playoffs. And the question was, is Trae Young's ceiling actually higher than Steph Curry? And Max Kellerman said, oh, yeah, in the playoffs, when it really matters. Personally, I don't even believe they should have asked that question yet, because we're only a few seasons into Trae Young's career, and you're going to ask, is his ceiling higher than 3-time NBA champion, 2-time MVP, reigning scoring champion, by the way, Steph Curry? It's ridiculous.
That's insane. That's just dumb. Come on now, Max.
Thank you. But anyway, I want us to be able to move on. That's today's sports news, Cam.
Yep. Also for MLB, just before we move on to movie review, I'd like to say that there's really not much going on there, but the trade deadline arrives on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So just anyone who's interested in that.
The Red Sox to do anything? They've obviously had a much better season than people expected. Do you expect any movement from them at the trade deadline?
Actually, I really don't expect much from them because I feel like they're good where they are right now. They have a good team right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so moving on to the movie review segment. So today we'll be reviewing the movie Iron Man 2. It's often considered to be the worst movie in the Iron Man franchise. I could agree with that, but some people take it a little too far and say it's one of the worst Marvel movies, which
Well, that's just ridiculous,
I
flat out
totally disagree.
ridiculous.
I think it's a really good movie with obviously a few flaws. I really don't like Justin Hammer. I don't think he's a good villain. He's kind of wimpy. Whiplash is pretty cool, I guess. Um, there's a cool storyline with Whiplash's father and Stark and stuff. It's really cool. Um, but it's the first time we see Black Widow in a movie, in the Marvel movie, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I
Uh,
think,
by the way, the movie Black Widow, by the way, started cut in cam outstanding.
oh, you watched it.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
saw it in the theaters Friday.
Awesome. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. But go ahead.
Um, moving on, like, I just, I feel like it's kind of ridiculous where, there is a scene in the movie where, there's a dumb storyline in this movie. Like, with Tony's father, who makes, like, a map thing
That's right.
that's supposed to, like, show the future. And I think that storyline is annoying. I don't really like that storyline. I don't think it's,
Person-
I don't think it's needed.
All right. Well, personally, this may shock people, but Iron Man 2, and this is going to be a big bombshell for some of you Marvel fans out there, probably including you, Cam, but I would actually rank the Iron Man movies Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3 instead of Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2. Because, me and my dad watched Iron Man 3
I
the
could
other
agree.
night.
I could actually agree with that.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Because
you. I mean, look, they were obviously trying to prove like, and you see this question in the summary for the movie. Obviously, at the end, they were trying to prove that the man made the suit as much as the suit makes the man. But personally, I just want to see Tony Stark a little bit more badass at the end of
I totally agree.
Iron Man 3. I can go into more about Iron Man 3. I would have uh, chosen a little bit of different music at the end. Personally, but that's another story for another day. We can review that movie another day. But yeah, no, that's how I would rank them. I mean, I thought Iron Man 2 was actually a very good movie. And I just think it just has some of the best, I mean, Tony Stark humor ever. I love the scene at the beginning where he's at the Stark Expo and he's like, now, I'm not going to say that I'm the reason that the world is at peace right now. And I'm not going to say that I'm the reason, blah, 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 that we have no war going on. No, that's not me. That's not me. And then the whole Senate hearing, which was obviously,
Oh my gosh, I love that senator guy.
it's so awesome. And I love it as he's walking out and he says, I have successfully privatized world peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of the movie, I believe, with the they get like an award for something or other with
right.
him and Rhodey.
That was a very, funny scene too with
And they chose the senator guy to give it to him.
Awesome.
That was really funny. I really like that scene. But
yeah.
I think this movie had good action. I mean, now that you bring it up, actually, I think it is better than Iron Man 3 because Iron Man 3 doesn't have a whole lot of Iron Man in it, and it's more like a guy with a broken suit tries to kill people.
Right.
But I will say Iron Man 3 has a better bad guy than this movie. They actually switched actors for Rhodey in this movie from Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 was totally different actor than Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 2 is the same actor for the rest of the Marvel movies. And that's Don Cheadle, who is actually just in the Space Jam movie.
I saw that, yeah. Or I didn't see the movie, but I heard that he was in it. That's cool.
Yes. And yeah, I think Don Cheadle might be better than I have no idea who he is, but the guy from Iron Man 1. I think he might. I think he's better. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, personally, I'm, used to, like, seeing, Don Cheadle play that character. So I would probably agree, with you on that. I thought Don, did a good job playing that character.
Yeah, I think he's definitely has a. He's very funny actually,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
I think he's very funny, and I think he's really good in this movie. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so for my rating of this movie, I'm gonna give it like a grade. I'm gonna
Oh,
give this movie a B plus.
I actually disagree. Well, Iron Man
Okay, okay,
1.
A minus, A minus. I'll actually give it A minus.
I'm going to agree with that. I would have it as an A if if Iron Man 1 wasn't in the A plus range, but
Yeah,
I'll give it in an A minus as well. One more just piece because again the Tony Stark humor is one of the reasons why I loved this movie. I love the scene where he says, "You know what? You're right. The party is over, but the after party starts in 15 minutes."
yeah, that is a funny scene. But yeah, I think he's really good. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing as always.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tony Stark is my favorite. I mean, Marvel character right now, and it's not even close. I mean, it's an absolute landslide.
All right, so that pretty much does it for our movie review segment. And now we're doing more movies with our movie of the week. Take it away, Will.
All right, movie of the week, Mr. Fozzie. This some people, will disagree, but I think a lot of people may agree as well from what I've heard. Movie of the week, my favorite Rocky movie ever,
Same.
Rocky Four. That's my movie of the week. I just go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I totally agree. It's definitely the best Rocky movie.
Thank you, thank you, Fozzie. Yeah, I mean, look, like I've heard, people, including, your uncle and my father, tell me that, and well, my dad has told me that, like, I've, changed his opinion on it since I love it, but, he was saying, you've already had, like, the big bad guy in Rocky 3, and then you're kind of, gonna, turn around and do it again. I'm not quoting him exactly, but I mean, just Sylvester Stallone and crew did a great job of just making me absolutely despise the Ivan Drago character.
Yeah.
And I mean, seeing Rocky beat Ivan Drago at the end, that's just something. I mean, it's just exhilarating every single time that I watch it. I mean, Dolph Lundgren, even though I hate his character, I thought masterful performance. I mean, just the way he was able to stand just stone cold still in that statue like Ivan Drago pose. I think some of the most famous Ivan Drago, quotes of all time are in there, including, "You will lose. If he dies, he dies. I must break you."
Yeah.
I don't think any of those are. Well, I mean, if he dies, he dies is just pathetic. But I don't know if any of those are quite as bad as in Creed 2 when he says it's good picture, because I mean he should be just put in jail for that.
Yeah.
But just they did a great job of making me despise the Ivan Drago character and Dolph Lundgren masterful performance.
Yeah. I agree. It's a really good movie, and I thought um, Ivan Drago was probably the best opponent for Rocky in the whole entire franchise, actually. Um, but a close second is Mr. T, um, in the third Rocky movie, who's also really good.
Pain. Oh, he's so so evil. And Rocky had a great technique there in that fight of how to beat him. Obviously, Apollo didn't see it at first, but it was fantastic. But and then of course the whole man versus machine training montage of Rocky out in the snow and Ivan Drago inside with all the technology
Yeah.
and stuff and then obviously one of the greatest scenes in that movie and I would say in the history of the Rocky franchise is when he goes onto the top of that icy cliff and screams Drago. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it may be one of the best. I think it is the best training sequence in the Rocky or maybe even Creed franchise as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a
It's
really nice training
it's
sequence.
very good. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I really like it. And yeah, our movie of the week is Rocky 4. We totally recommend it. It's an awesome movie. Um, yeah, go give it a watch. Also, yeah, that'll basically just do it for our podcast today. Thanks again for coming on, Will.
Absolutely, Cam. Love doing it always.
Yeah, and yeah, that'll do it for the podcast, everyone. Thanks for watching or listening. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.